Hey, everybody. Welcome to Trusty's Late Night Vintage Live Sale. We are still maintaining the late night time slot that I swapped with Nancy at this overstuffed house. So thanks to Nancy for accommodating my schedule, which, as it turns out, may not need to be accommodated as much. The show that I was supposed to be in first week in February has been postponed. And so we have to kind of figure out what that means for my next several weeks. But for now, I'm just going to keep this late night slot. And because I don't want to mess with what Nancy's doing, because then come February, I'll be in rehearsals again. So this may last longer than I planned. Who knows? So it's a new year. If 2021 showed us anything, you just roll with it. You're just trying to deal with what's going on and you make it happen. So I appreciate those of you who are trying to stay up to watch my late nights. And maybe, it's been nice. Some of the West Coasters are actually able to see my show because it's not so late for them. So regardless, I do appreciate everyone joining me this evening. I also, of course, appreciate Katie joining in for the evening. So thank you, Katie, for helping me out in the sale. And
absolutely.
Nate is also in the chat tonight. So he will be monitoring first to claim in the chat from New Zealand. So what Nate says goes, and he cannot be bribed. So we're going to big thanks to Nate for helping out in the chat as well. A couple quick hellos. We've got Peterson has joined the chat. Heirloom Vintage and Collectibles. That's Jacqueline. So thanks so much for coming back in, Jacqueline. Jean Marie has joined us again. Vintage and Vino, which is Tim and Jerry. So it must be Jerry.
You got it.
Kat from Calypso Antiques coming out of Texas. I heard Texas was getting some actual cold weather.
Yeah, it was really cold there today.
We are at 2 degrees. So I really don't have any sympathy for anybody. But and I know Peterson has it even colder. But yeah, that's at least not normal for Texas. Let's see. Irene is saying 17 in Columbus. So yeah, wow, we're all getting frigid.
It was 50 today, which for Florida is
pretty cold for you.
Cold, yeah. So it was nice.
Jan coming into the chat. Angela, another Chicagoan, bunkered in for the cold. Another Chicagoan. Brian in for the cold. Let's see. We got a Southwesterner, so she's probably nice and warm in. Let's see, New Mexico or Arizona. I can't remember where Darlene. I think New Mexico. Probably a little warmer than here, but I don't know, maybe cold too if Texas got cold. Let's see. Oh, Carrie's coming in from Texas. I think she was one of the ones talking about how cold it was. Oh, there it was. 35.
Wow.
Yikes. That's pretty cold for Texas.
Cold.
That is cold. And then, of course, Tim laughing at all of us in Canada. Saying, please. 35. He's walking around in shorts and flip-flops. And Peterson's welcome to go to the flip-flops to go down there with to Lemmy. Yep, 40 degrees in Darlene's backyard. So thanks everyone for joining in. Apologize if I skipped anybody, but I do want to just go ahead and get into the chat or get into the sale. It'll be a relatively short sale this evening. Since it's late night, I still have to work in the morning. I don't want it to go too long. Couple standards that I'll be doing. I've got my mystery boxes, but I'm doing things a little differently tonight. So I will have 2 different types of mystery boxes. If you're new to my channel, I think I recognize most of the names, but if you're new to my channel, Verlaine might be a new name. North Dakota -21. Okay. You're winning that very bad race. So
Yikes,
sorry. The way my channel works, my sales work, I don't do any auctions or offer ups. So when I show you an item, I will tell you the price. That is the price you will pay. And I will tell you the item number, the first to claim the item number in the chat, not the comments. So if you're not seeing some of the hellos and some of the things that I've been showing, you are not in the right place. So make sure you are in the chat. And the first that Nate sees in the chat to claim the number that I say will be the person that claims that item. My email is on the screen. If you have not purchased from me before or have not purchased in a while, or you just want to be nice, drop me an email reminding me that you bought something tonight. Make sure I have your shipping information. I will send you an invoice with the shipping costs. The price I give does not include shipping, except for one of the mystery boxes tonight that I'm doing. That will include shipping. But for everything else, I will then invoice you. I'll calculate shipping, invoice you. Once you pay the invoice, I'll ship your item. So relatively straightforward. The only unique thing I do is when I start out my sales, we are dwindling, but I do still have some of Mint in Box, Guards, Maxi Pads. These are
Yay.
one of the items for my traditional mystery boxes. What I'm doing because of it, what I'll be adding a little bit later this evening, I'm doing what I was calling the Mega Mystery Box. These are going to be $25.
Ooh.
Got that backwards. $25. So they're going to be a little bit more valuable. I have some additional items in there to make them more valuable. I am trying to clear out some end of year inventory. So you will get some items from my Etsy channel, from my eBay store, from my Etsy store, as well as some things that I have that are just taking up space. So you will get good value, probably $35 to $45 worth of merchandise in the box. It will be $25. I will do my best to keep the weight reasonable, but because of some of the items that I'm putting, I may not have as much control. So just keep that in mind if you are ordering from a larger distance. Because these typically end up being pretty popular, I do them a little bit differently. Instead of giving you the number, I make you guess the number. So in order to do that, I will tell you the range. And both Katie and Nate know the number, so they will be watching for it. When Nate sees the first two people type the number in, both people will win a Mega Mystery Box. So $25 for the Mega Mystery Box, and the number tonight falls between 10 and 20. So between 10 and 20 gets you the first two people that give the right number get a Mega Mystery Box.
And Patrick's mystery boxes are epic. He does some really, really cool things inside. So make sure that you guys get in on this because it's really, really cool.
I actually found myself buying for the mystery boxes a little too often. I'm like, okay, I need to start buying some regular stuff. But it is fun to buy for the mystery boxes. So I think I've seen the number twice already.
Yep.
But they all the same timestamp. So
I have two, so we have to wait for Nate.
Wait for Nate to see who he sees as the first two people.
Let's see.
A couple new names. Very Mary. I think that's a new name for me. So welcome, Very Mary. I didn't say hi to Jamie from Mid-Century Wasted. So hi, Jamie and Irene. I think I might have missed you earlier.
And Mickey is here, thrifting in the holler.
Oh, hey, Mickey.
Okay.
Happy Girl Thrift. That's a new one.
The Mega Mystery Box has been announced.
It was number 18. And the number goes to Calypso Cat and Lemmy Lemon.
Congratulations, guys. That is fantastic. You're going to love those Mint and Box Maxi Pads.
And I'm pretty sure they've actually both received one of my mystery boxes in the past. So it's always nice when they go to reorder, like if somebody tries to get another one, means they liked the first one. So they're going to try and get another one. So, and if I remember correctly, I want to say it was Kat with Calypso Antiques. She got one of the Just One More Dachshund mystery boxes. And she did a live unboxing video of it. Even I was amazed what she got. I'm like, wow, that was a good box. All right. So I will go ahead and on the tails of that one, while I still have everyone. Oh, there you go. Calypso. She's saying that, Kat saying that is her
fourth.
That is amazing. Awesome. So congratulations. We are going to now do something a little bit different. And this will make up for all the people that tried to get a mystery box and could not this last time. I'm going to do something a little bit different. So what I have, I'm not kidding when I was saying I needed to clear out some inventory. So I've been buying a lot of things that go specifically into the mystery boxes. And I basically found myself with a very large volume of smalls, things that were really easy to pack. So what I'm going to do tonight, and this may be a one-time only thing, we'll see how well it goes and what I have left when I'm done, but I'm committing to a mini mystery box. This is going to be $15. And the $15 includes shipping. So it will be under a pound and it will be shipped to you in a bubble mailer. And for $15, you're only allowed to get one, but you will be guaranteed for $15 the package, and you'll have far more than $15 worth of stuff in it. And the number is 45, and everyone who wants one can have one.
Oh, that is just awesome, Patrick.
So I just realized I got 49 people watching. So I think I might have just screwed myself. But I have a feeling not all 49 people will want one. But if you want one, type in number 45. and you will get a mini mystery box. I've actually pre-packaged many of these.
Holy cow. Okay, the numbers are coming in, so I can't wait to see what Nate says.
So you will get $15. That's postage paid, so you don't know additional costs because I'm keeping them under £1, so it doesn't matter, and where I'm shipping it to. So number 45, any point during the evening, you can get one. It's not first to claim, so everyone who's putting it in. So congratulations to Irene and Mickey and Kara and Angela and Brian and Jeannie and Very Mary and Kat. So I'm going to be making these for a while, but I've got plenty of stuff. You'll all get some good stuff. It'll be a lot of smalls. Most of it'll be like unbreakable smalls because they're going into an envelope padded mailer, but it'll be fun stuff. And those will be fun to open. It'll just be a little bit smaller and a little bit cheaper. So I was basically doing it in mass. So if Katie and Nate can keep track of all the people that claimed, those are the mini mystery boxes, and you all will get at least one coaster. That was my little visual aid to remember. So everyone will get at least a coaster because that packs very nicely into the little mystery box.
So far we have Catherine Young, Very Mary, Jean Marie, Brian Hans, Dear Angela's Vintage, Kitschy Corner, Thrifting in the Holler, and Irene Fink.
Fantastic. So thank you so much.
You do keep cutting out occasionally.
Ooh, sorry. Katie had warned me about that earlier. I am hardwired. I'm not on my Wi-Fi, but I did get a notification this week that my modem is up for service or something. So I need to replace it. So I don't know if it's, I've lost it a few times today. Katie's not dropping out on me, but I apologize if I'm dropping out on you. So we will just do the best we can. All right. Next item. I also have multiples. Now, these are not unlimited multiples, but I do have multiples of this. And this is something I have sold before. And to be perfectly honest, I thought I sold out on. So you might understand why I'm trying to get rid of some inventory. Because I'm at the point I can't find things. Things just like appear. And so what I have is a Prohibition era whiskey medicinal prescription. So this is a prescription form for medicinal liquor from 1931. You see July 3rd, 1931. These were all issued in Washington, D.C. And you can see the prescription on the very first line is for whiskey. So I had a stack of these. I sold some on my sales here. I also listed several of them on eBay and Etsy, and I sold out of all that I thought I had. And then I found another stack. So I will relist them on eBay and Etsy. And there I'm selling them for $35. Here I sell them for $25. So the problem with on Etsy is I have to take a new picture every time because each one is unique. So I can only list one at a time. So I'd rather get rid of the 5 that I have left. I'd rather get rid of them here. So $25, the first 5 people, if I've got enough people that want them, the first 5 people that would like a Prohibition era whiskey certificate from, I think all the ones I have are dated either 1930 or 1931. I think I got rid of all the 29s. So either they're 30s or 1931, but they're all Prohibition era and they're just fun. And they all have the handwriting. They're all going to look a little different, but it's all the same form. $25. You get one by giving me number 61. $25, 61 for the whiskey certificate.
And those are very cool. I gave one to my brother who actually is into reviewing whiskey and scotch and all of that, has a pretty big collection. And he thought that was the coolest thing. And guys, he's not really into antiques or vintage as much as I am, but he's got that framed now in his house. That really tells you something. If my brother is super cool. And they're
cross collectible.
Amazing. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, going into another traditional collectible. This, if you have followed my Instagram channel, I have a window ledge of swung glass vases. Recent trip to Wisconsin, I purchased a kind of a bizarre one. It actually has thorns on it. And when I took my tree down, I was able to access the window ledge. I put that one up. I needed to retire somebody. So Mr. 5-Finger Green Vase got retired. So this is a And we had Fat Bird Finds was on a duo dive with Katie and I, and they talked a little bit about these. These aren't technically swung vases because the idea is really these are more pulled or stretched in a position. And it's a fairly common form. So I've heard them called 5-finger vases. Katie, I don't know if you know any other terms for
No,
this.
that's the term I've heard is 5-finger.
Yeah. So they usually have the same form, and they're usually about the same size. So they're relatively standard. This one has a ground bottom so that it sits perfectly flat on the ledge. And it simply got retired because green is not really the color that I wanted to accent with my home. I had like 3 or 4 up there, and I have one other 5-finger vase in a different color. So this one's getting retired. But because it's coming out of my collection, it's in perfect condition. There's no chips, there's no cracks. It's a lovely piece. And I am selling that and moving it on to another home. If Jamie's running to see if she's got the color. Now, I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know what this color would be called. I would say it's an emerald green. I mean, it's
kind
not
of
a lime color.
Green.
Okay, that would be a good summary of it as well. It does not glow, so it is just a green glass vase. It's a nice piece. Just literally, I ran out of room, and so he getting retired. So if you want to give him a home, he is $20. So $20 for the green 5-fingered vase. You get $20 by giving me number 20. $20 for number 20 for the 5-fingered vase.
And people are asking to see the bottom. You know, that is a really lovely piece of mid-century glass and a great thing to have from Patrick's personal collection.
Yeah.
And Laura just joined, so how perfect.
She heard us talking about her.
And man, several people wanted that. I knew they would, so I'm going to look for Nate's comment in the chat. And Angela H is picking that up. So congrats,
All right.
Angela.
Thank you, Angela H. Thank you for giving him a good home. All right. Next piece going into my typical backyard is getting into the pottery and porcelain that I like to deal with. If you've been following my sales for a while, I had picked up some pieces from a Wade collector. And this is one of the more, I'm not going to say more unique pieces, but it's one that I had never seen. The shape I had seen in kind of like a turquoise color with the gold, but this one you can see is actually black. And on the bottom, it is stamped Wade, made in England, and they're calling it black velvet, which I just think is a pretty cool reference to the color that they're making. So I would say this is probably falling. It's the exact same pattern as the turquoise blue, which I believe was from the 50s, 60s. So I would say this is probably 60s, maybe even going into the 70s with the black. Have you seen that color combo before, Katie?
I have not, but I think it is stunning. And that name kind of reminds me of like a fancy cigar or a pack of cigarettes.
Black velvet. You can just imagine the ad for it. It is in pristine condition, absolutely beautiful. There's no chips, no cracks anywhere on it. It is decorated on both the front and the back. It is a piece of Wade, and it is $7. So $7 for the Wade black velvet, $7 by giving me number 76. $7.76 for the black velvet bowl.
And that is just a really sexy shape too, Patrick. I really like that piece.
I totally agree. And I like it better in black than the blue. I had sold it in blue already. And the blue, it's, I think, probably more indicative of its era, but the blue and the gold just, it didn't like, it wasn't as attractive to me. So I do like the black. It doesn't look like too many other people did, so that would be available for later in the sale. And while I turn my back, maybe think, I haven't had an eBay listing in a while because I haven't had the regular sales during the holidays. This went onto my my Instagram, and I was getting feedback from my followers on Instagram. This was a book that I had picked up that is from 1796. It is an 18th century printing of a book. It is an extremely tight spine. All the pages are still intact. It's absolutely perfect condition in the spine. However, the covers have come off. So the spine is still intact, and you still have the leather from, or the cloth binding from the spine, but you can see both the front and the back are just the marble papers. The covers have come off. So what I posted on Instagram was, does this still have any value? It's still an 18th century printing. It has 70 engravings in it, and they're all that size, and they're all that level of detail, and they're all a series of fables, a series of poetry by John Gay, who was also the author of The Beggar's Opera. That's a shout out to Nancy for telling me that, because there's no way I would have learned that. But so it's the John Gay Fables by John Gay with the life of the author in 2 parts, beautified with 70 elegant engravings. So you've got this in the beginning. And there were some votes to say, you know what, the reason I bought it was to cut it apart. I don't typically like to do that, but a book without covers to me wouldn't have any value. And I felt that some of these little engravings are actually pretty snazzy. And I thought maybe people, I could mount those or frame those, and that there would be some value there. But what a lot of people ended up saying was, yeah, it probably would, you know, I'd definitely make more money if I cut it apart, but that is kind of against my better nature. So what most people said was, you know what, try and sell it. If you sell it as is and just, you know, disclose it's as is, it doesn't have the covers, but all the, you know, what's important is that the spine is still there. It's all the pages are totally tight. They're not going anywhere. It just doesn't have its front and the back cover. This book with the covers is selling for hundreds of dollars. There was one edition that sold for over $1,000. So
Wow.
there was value to this simply because it's an 18th century book. So that's what I did. So thank you, Nate, for dropping the link. This just went live 10 minutes ago. It will end during my live sale next week. We'll see if it sells. And if it doesn't sell on eBay, I will then cut it apart and I will mount the individual pages. And I think it will give it a good life. But if somebody is looking for an inexpensive edition of it because they like the book or they want to cut it apart and sell it for parts, here's your chance. So that is up on my eBay channel. And that'll be the only item that I've got going on to eBay this week. All right. We got Katie in the house. Therefore, I must sell records.
Oh, how awesome is that?
So if I remember correctly, Katie gets to test me. If I remember correctly, I think you said these came from cereal boxes. All
That's right.
So this is a Bobby Sherman full fidelity cereal box record with 5 songs on it, which doesn't even seem possible that something this small would still have 5 songs on it. I guess you just poke the hole in it with a pencil. I've seen some that say that. The back is completely plain. So what would this have been? Would this have, like, you had a box of cereal, would this have been just part of the artwork on the outside of the box?
Yes, so you would have gotten these on cereal boxes. They had the Jackson 5, they had the Monkees, they had Archie's, they had the Bobby Sherman one even. I think there was a few others, and you would have cut them out of the cereal box, and then you would place that on your record player, and you put a little coin, typically by the spindle center hole, and it kind of balances it, and then it will play. Now, I don't know if that actually has 5 songs on it. Sometimes each one has a different song out of them.
Oh, okay.
You could kind of collect them all. So
you know what? I think you're right, because now that you say that, there's something next to his name. I think that's a number 1. Oh yeah, this is record
that
number
might be the
1.
first song.
So this is Easy Come, Easy Go. All right, I didn't even pay attention to that. So you could collect all 5. Now, would they all have the same art, or would each one have a slightly different picture of Bobby Sherman? Or would they all have this exact
a lot
same
of them all have the same art.
Okay.
Particularly the ones with the Archies, they all have the same comic book style to it, and then you can collect the different ones. Now, some of them are quite valuable because you can imagine that these things were thrown away. They didn't play very well. They weren't meant to last. They were a novelty thing to kind of advertise and hype up cereal in a sense. So these things, depending on the one you have, can be quite special, and especially those Jackson 5s and the Kiss ones. You want to look out for those. But Bobby Sherman is pretty great, and that song is excellent. And of course, many people are saying he's such a heartthrob. So
I know, I'm refreshing people's memories on his wall next to Donny Osmond. Now we got Tim's asking, is Bobby Sherman still alive? I have no idea.
I don't know either, Tim. Great question. Something I'll have to Google.
But what I thought was fun about this one is how poorly cut out it was.
Yeah, somebody did.
There is a dotted line there, but we just seem to ignore it and have the ready to play. And I also wonder how many of these cereal boxes were sitting in pantries with a big hole in the side of them, but the kid cut out the record
Yeah.
before the box was empty. So we've got the Bobby Sherman record. It is record number 1, easy come, easy go, and it is $5. So if you want to relive your childhood and put up pictures of Donny Osmond and Bobby Sherman on your wall once again for $5, you can do so. Angela's confirming he is alive. He's alive. You can get the live Bobby Sherman on your wall for $5 by giving me number 49. $5, number 49.
That is a great record and such a fun little piece of music history to have as well. Because I love the unique and specialty vinyl that was made more as an advertisement that you just don't see a lot of them around. So they're pretty cool.
Excellent. Now, is that a type of collectible? Like, are people going to collect? Do they just collect the cereal records, or would they, like a Bobby Sherman collector, would want to have all of the Bobby Sherman albums and then any of the cereal ones that went along with it?
I'm sure that they kind of fall into two camps. If you love Bobby Sherman, you probably want that as a collectible, but there are people that love so-called novelty records, and that's what these kind of are categorized as. And of course, the fact that, these came off of cereal boxes are just so cool. So you got a lot of people that just collect these. And then some people that just love the whole novelty thing like I do. I love records that had a purpose like this. I may not listen to them a lot, but they're just fun to say, like, oh, wow, I have a cereal box record.
Exactly. Well, until cool. I don't remember them. So were these, let's see, Bobby Sherman, would that have been 60s?
Yeah, they had 70s? These in the 60s and 70s.
See, I don't remember them in the 70s. So I guess I think we always had like generic cheap ass cereal. So we didn't have any cool little giveaways like that.
Yeah, these probably came on the fancier, more expensive cereal, I guess. Now my mom remembers them, but she said she was not allowed to cut them out or like play them on the turntable because they were so flimsy that I guess my grandpa was afraid that it would break the turntable or something. So she couldn't hear them.
So even your ancestors are controlling the quality of the equipment, saying don't damage it, don't destroy the equipment.
But they won't damage your record players if you guys are wanting to play these and see what they sound like. All They're just fun.
Jerry's asking, was Bobby Sherman in a TV show about lumberjacks? To be perfectly honest, I don't think I know who Bobby Sherman is. I don't think I know any of his music, and I certainly don't remember him from a television show.
No, I just know a handful of his songs, so I'm sorry. I can tell you a lot about 50s and 60s music, more soul and doo-wop and rockabilly than I can anything else.
Jennifer's saying yes, but no, so now everyone's going to have to do a deep dive into IMDb to figure out what Bobby Sherman was on. All right. Next item, I actually have another set of multiples. This is a group that I picked up in an earlier sale. I sold some kind of miscellaneous design ink blotters. And what I now have is a series of ink blotters that are all identical. And so I'm selling them here tonight for $5 a piece. So what these are from the Fire Association of Philadelphia, which was founded in 1817. It was defunct by 1958. It had merged with another company and changed names. So this predates 1958, but based on the cardboard it's printed on and the font and the style of printing, I'd say this one is a little bit earlier, that this is probably getting into the 30s. Several of the ones from the box were dated from the 20s. I don't know if it's quite getting back that far because the font of the red ink is the agent in Wisconsin. And I did pick these up in Wisconsin. So this is the agent Wisconsin. So I think the cards may have been a little bit older. And then at some point, the different agents could get them and print their own names on them. So probably 30s, maybe getting into the 40s. But it has to be before 58 because by that time this ended. This is a slightly larger size. This is going to almost 11 inches long. The ones I sold earlier were a little bit smaller. Katie had some beautiful ones that she sold in our last advertising sale that were bundled with multiple sheets. This is a standalone sheet. It's blank on the back. If you don't know what an ink blotter is, there's two schools of thought on these. They are approximately going to be the size of an envelope. So what you would do is you could write the address with your fountain pen or your ink pen, and then you have the size of this. You press it onto your envelope, and all the excess ink comes up onto it, helps clear up so your ink doesn't smudge. Or what I think is more common is these would sit to the side of your desk. And when you were writing and your fountain pen or your ink pen had like a little blobby on the end, very technical term, you would just like scrape it on the side. And so it's kind of like a relatively thick paperboard. So it would be absorbent and it would get the little extra blobbies off your pen so that you don't smear your ink as you're writing your letter, writing the address, writing your checks, whatever you're doing. So I bought hundreds of these. There are 9 of this style. So if you like fire, if you're from Philadelphia, if you want to start a collection of ink blotters or any combination thereof, picking these up, I'm selling these because I have so many. I'm selling these slightly below what they would sell for on eBay. So I'm selling them for $5 a piece. And the first 9 people that would like to get a $5 ink blotter from the Fire Association of Philadelphia, give me number 12. So 9 of them available. You can have one. And yes, Michelle, there is a possibility I will still have ink blotters after I'm run out of maxi pads. So
Yes,
you never know what's going to end up in a mystery box in the future.
Man, the graphics on those are incredible. And I think you could even frame that if you wanted to. I mean,
totally
the
agree.
possibilities with that is crazy cool. Ephemeral is waiting to be designed here with one of those.
Absolutely. Tim, I have not run out yet. I still have probably about a dozen left. So I will be running out soon. But so I actually am on the hunt for something that'll be easy to pack. That's the benefit of the maxi pads. They're super lightweight. They're easy to pack. They don't break. The problem with the ink blotters is they're long, so they're a little bit harder to mail. They would probably go with first class mail, but I'm going to have to like manually make the wrapper because they don't fit in a standard number 10 envelope. But nobody wants them anyway, so no big deal. They'll go up onto eBay. So the next item, also didn't know I had. I thought I had sold these. It turns out I must have had an extra pair. I sold these on one of my sales earlier before. It is a new old stock from the Kitchen Papers
cool.
cake toppers of R2D2 and C3PO. So you've got Wilton cake toppers still in their original packaging of the Star Wars characters. So this again, if it doesn't sell here, will very easily go up on eBay and or Etsy and sell there. But it's nice to be able to sell these quickly without the fees of eBay and Etsy. So give a slightly lower price to sell them here. And it's the same price I sold them for last time. So the R2D2 and the C3PO cake toppers are $12 for the pair. $12 for the new old stock by giving me number 28. $12.28 for the cake toppers.
Man, those are pretty cool. And for any Star Wars collector, like that would just be a great little addition.
Absolutely. It's one of those, just like your brother with the whiskey certificate. You don't have to really be into vintage to be like, those are cool, because these would be from the era. These would have been when they were made, would have been when Star Wars was popular, because what kid didn't want Star Wars characters on their cake?
Yeah, and Star Wars, I mean, it's just amazing. And I see 28 going to Mid-Century Wasted. So congratulations, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie, for picking that up.
It's so funny because you watch Star Wars now and you're like, oh my gosh, that just looks so fake. But then when it came out, it was total
cutting edge. It was
cutting
amazing.
edge technology. Yes.
All right. The next batch, these I've known I've had for a while, and I was debating what to do with them. And I've decided to make it easy on myself and sell them here. So what I have is a series of Wade Whimsies that I have never had before. These are the nursery rhyme Wade Whimsies. So the way I'm going to do this, well, I'm going to start out with this little dude, because I'm going to ask the audience here. First of all, Katie, do you have any idea who this man would be? He's got an umbrella, and he's got kind of like a doctor's bag or a satchel of some sort. So other than looking like a little ceramic embodiment of a huckster, what nursery rhyme do you think he is from?
Is he Father Time?
He's not. At least I don't think he is, because I did find his name online, and he's part of the nursery rhyme characters. He's Dr. Foster.
Oh, I don't know that.
Who the hell's that? Like
I
I
don't know
literally
what
I
nursery
have
rhyme he
no
does.
idea who Dr. Foster is. So I love what Michelle's guess. He's Dr. Doolittle. I like that.
Yes, or let's see, the Muffin Man.
So I don't know who Dr. Foster is. So I'm curious if anybody knows. Like you figured that these are British. So I don't know if Nate, do you know Dr. Foster? Is that like a British nursery rhyme that we just don't have here? I meant to look it up and I forgot. So I'm actually keeping him. Sorry, because he looks like a huckster. So I'm keeping him.
Yeah, he deserves to be in your collection.
Yeah, so he's staying in my collection. But the other reason he's staying in my collection is because out of necessity, I have 12 others. So I had the lucky 13 grouping. I don't know how that happened, but so I have 12 others. So I've decided to group the others into sets of 3 and sell them as sets of 3. So in each set, I have 4 the house that Jack built. So I've got 4 identical versions of this. They all say Wade, England on the bottom. So each set, I'm going to sell 4 sets of 3. So each set you will get one of these. Hi, Louie.
And Louie loves these. She thinks they're awesome.
I have 2 Little Red Riding Hoods. So those will be split between two different lots. I have 2 Little Boy Blue. And the rest I only have singles. So I've got the 3 bears. I've got Little Bo Peep. I've got the old lady who lived in a shoe.
Oh, I know that nursery rhyme.
And I've got Goosey Goosey Gander. So these are so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing them. Ooh, Dr. Foster went to Gloucester.
Nate says, Dr. Foster went to Gloucester, a shower of rain. He stepped into a puddle right up to his middle and never went there again. I don't know that, Nate. But it's interesting.
That's a new one. So it'll be somewhat of a hodgepodge because I'm just going to randomly group 3. But again, everyone, if I sell all 4 sets, each set will have at least one. Each set will have one of the house that Jack built, and then 2 others. And I won't. If you buy one set, I'm not going to duplicate the others. Yes, Jennifer, I did hug Dr. Foster. I don't come across hucksters very often, so
he's yours.
So maybe I'll tuck him underneath Huck, so Huck can watch him at night when he goes to bed.
Oh, I like that idea.
So Dr. Foster stepped in a puddle. This is like
that's so new to me.
No clue. Yes, I did something twisted. That's exactly what happened.
Some of the nursery rhymes are dark.
Dr. Foster went to Gloucester. First of all, the fact that because Gloucester is spelled like Gloucester, so the fact that they found anything to rhyme it is hilarious. But regardless, so what I'm selling is a set of 3 for $10. So I will say the 3 bears is currently listed on eBay right now for $18 by himself. That person's insane. He's never going to get $18 because they don't sell for that much, but that's what it's listed for. So you're just going to get a randomization. All 4 lots will have the house in it, and then 2 others. So you get a set of 3. So you're paying $3.33 each for a set of 3 of $10. The first 4 people, I've got 4 sets that give me number 81. So number 81, $10 gets you a set of the nursery rhyme, a set of 3 of the nursery rhyme characters.
Those are very cool. And I feel like they're a little bit larger than the regular Wades.
The house is definitely larger, and it's also heavier. So like this one was the one, like I wasn't even 100% sure that was part of the series. So I had to look at the pictures to figure that one out. And then even like within the series, because the Little Bo Peep, she kind of towers over Little Boy Blue. So there's definitely some discrepancy in how they were sized. And Little Bo Peep is taller than the bears.
I see Carrie. She wants 2.
Okay.
And I see Angela. And Angela might have been trying to get them for Carrie because I know Carrie collects those.
All right. So Carrie's going to take 2 sets. And then just let me know, Angela, if you actually did want a set for yourself or if you were just being nice for Carrie.
Now, these were sold in Rose Tea, right, Patrick?
Correct. Yes. Little Bo Peep is an Amazon woman. Yes. All right.
Okay, so send hers to Carrie, but bill her.
Okay, so Carrie's going to get 3 sets. Anyone want to buy the 4th set for Carrie? No, Carrie's going to get a lot of houses that Jack built. All right, so we will take care of 2 for Carrie, 1 for Angela, ship to Carrie.
Fantastic. Those are really cool, guys.
Yeah, I gotten those as part of a bigger set, and I've sold off most of the other ones, and I kept these separate because I knew that they were a little bit more valuable. They're a little bit more desirable because they're cool. And like, if you knew who Dr. Foster was, like, I must have him. But they've just been sitting in a box waiting to do something with them. So it's kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to sell them. And at least I got rid of 3 sets. So the rest will just go up on eBay. All right. The next item, this I've actually had once before, and I ended up having somebody, I originally was selling it. It's a set of Dollhouse furniture. I was originally selling it as a large lot of furniture. And the person, somebody contacted me and said, well, they didn't want everything. They just wanted a couple of the pieces from it. So I broke up the set. So what I've got here is the rest of the set.
Nate says bill him for the other 2 for Carrie.
Okay, so Carrie's getting everything for free.
Awesome, Carrie. You're gonna love these.
All right.
Very sweet, Nate.
Congratulations, Carrie. All right. So what I have what's left in the lot, of course, adjusted the price because it's a smaller lot now, but it is a set of Dollhouse furniture with a wooden dining room table, 4 dining room chairs, a baby cradle, a little milking stool that's actually marked from Brickfield, Maine. So if anyone's from Maine, this is the only signed piece. And then a little old-fashioned telephone.
Oh, how cool.
You get this little wall-mounted telephone. So you get 5-piece dining room set, 6, 7, 8 pieces. The little rocking cradle with the little blanket in it, the milking stool, and the 5-piece dining room set. You get all 8 pieces for $10. So if you like Dollhouse furniture, it's all wooden, probably from the 60s or 70s. Well, that milking stool looked a little older. $10 for the set. That gets you everything. $10 by giving me number 63. $10.63 for the set of Dollhouse furniture.
Man, that is a great deal and a really cool set. I've never seen one with a little telephone, so there's some possibilities with that.
I thought the phone was kind of cool. Even if you don't have Dollhouse furniture, that's just kind of a fun little piece.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably put the little phone next to like a printer's tray, or if you had a larger printer's tray, it might fit inside.
That is true. All right, the next item I've got is a little comic book. It is an All Aboard Mr. Lincoln comic book from the Association of American Railroads. So this is from the School and College Service of the Association of American Railroads, Transportation Building, Washington, D.C., but it's Washington 6, D.C., which means, Katie, when was this published?
So this is definitely before 1963, because that is when 5-digit zip codes came out. In the late 40s, 1948 to be exact, they had 2-digit and 1-digit zip codes for large cities. So think like LA and New York.
So we're gonna give you that information so many times you're gonna be sick of hearing it. But for anyone who didn't know that, so if a 1 and 2-digit zip code means between 1948 and 63, if it's a big city like this. So you've got a nice vintage piece and actually really good condition. It is the All Aboard Mr. Lincoln, a picture story about Abraham Lincoln and the railroads. So you've got the log cabin, and this is one of those little factoids. Illinois is known as the land of Lincoln. Katie, where was Lincoln born? Let's just say it wasn't Illinois.
No, it wasn't. That's a good question. I should know this, and I can't think of it at the present.
He was actually born in Kentucky.
Oh,
So
Kentucky. Right.
at what point we decided that, like, when the Lincoln Library literally like stole the log cabin that he was born in and moved it into Illinois. So, we're in there, Jennifer had it in Kentucky. And then
Kentucky.
I think the second place he lived was like Indiana. Like, he didn't even like come straight here. So I think he was a kid by the time he got here. So technically, I guess he grew up here, but regardless, the little log cabin he was born in technically was in the state of Kentucky. Which also then made it interesting during the Civil War, because Kentucky was a border state, all of those fun-filled things related to it. So it's a traditional comic book. You've got the individual panels, just talks about the history of Lincoln, his legal work, and then talking about, as a result of this legislation, Illinois' first rail was started, the Northern Cross Railroad. So again, remember who published this. It is published by the Association of American Railroads. So you tie it to Lincoln to get people to buy it for their kids, but it's basically a whole advertising campaign for railroads. So it's just a fun little, let's see, how many pages is this? 12, 13, 16 page little pamphlet for All Aboard Mr. Lincoln. And you can have it for $6. So $6 for the American Lincoln, All Aboard Lincoln comic book, $6, 47. And yeah, Tim the Canadian always knows our American history.
Yeah,
Mary Todd, that was another connection that made things awkward during the Civil War.
That is a really, really cool little comic book, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. But the illustrations on it, plus the history, is just very, very neat.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun, a little different.
And you could have that frame too. Again, you'd lose some of the inside pages, but that outside cover is gorgeous.
Or you get the old-fashioned, silly putty, and you roll it flat and then you push it on. It's like the newspaper type comic book. You'd actually get the pictures on each piece of silly putty. Did you ever do that as a kid?
Yes, we did that all the time as a kid.
You're so much younger than me. I just never know what was still around when you were a kid.
Oh, well, my mom loved doing arts and crafts, so we were always doing things like that at the house.
And Angela's out shopping me for some salt glazed pottery. So my next piece, and it's actually my last piece for the evening, is another piece of salt glazed pottery. So this is a German salt glazed pottery pitcher, small size. Drink, and my daughter translated it one time for me, and I don't remember. I have two of these. She bought me one, and that's the one that I have in my personal collection. And then I found this one, and so I bought it to resell. It's in great condition. It's just a very light gray, which is the color that I like for my collection, with the beautiful cobalt blue decorations in it. This one is not stamped. So I do not know the maker. The other one I have is a Gertz German potter or German Stein maker. This one is not a Stein. It is actually a pitcher. So you can see the lip that's on it. And I think there's a mark there, which is supposed to indicate the amount of level of liquid, C7. I can't remember. I don't know exactly what that says, but that probably is just how much it holds.
It
Maybe
looks like
quart.
C7.
Yeah, it does. It looks like C7. So maybe it's a QT, maybe it's a quart. I'm not sure, because it probably would be in German. So I don't know what that would say. Something centiliter? I don't know. It's just a cute little piece. It's got a small top, so it'd be great for a little air plant holder, be able for a small vase. You could use it as a creamer, or just have it as a little attractive shelf sitter for your German heritage, or just because it's blue and gray. All beautiful options. I have one just like it in my collection, but this is not from my collection. So you get this one for $10. $10 for the salt glaze stoneware, $10 by giving me number 32. $10, 32 for the salt glaze.
That is such a neat piece, Patrick. I love the colors in it, and the great pattern with the blue cobalt. It's just a stunner.
Absolutely. So that's it for the evening. So if anyone came in late and wants to see some of the stuff that didn't sell, I can recapture that. But for those that stuck around the whole time, I did keep it. Shockingly enough, I kept it under an hour.
I know, that's amazing.
Well, it only had 12 items. It's a little bit easier to do. But I also knew, as what happened with the mini mystery boxes, How many did we end up selling of those? 11.
Yeah, I think about
I'm
11.
going to have a lot to ship. So I figured I didn't really need to do a huge sale tonight anyway. And, not everyone stays up long, super late to be able to do some of the things in the sale. So I appreciate those for if you've stuck around the entire evening, all 50 minutes of it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you picked up anything, I will try and get invoices out by this weekend. So watch for those. If you came in late, I can share some of the items that did not sell, but I wanted to make sure I get my thank yous in. So again, thanks to Katie for helping tonight. Thank you again, Nate, for helping out in the chat. You did a fantastic job as always. You do have the links in my that Nate dropped into the chat, or if you follow my about page, you can go to my eBay store where this 18th century engraving collection is currently up for sale. That will end during my live sale next week. And that should be it. So if you came in late, the items that did not sell, I still have the Bobby Sherman record.
Oh, very cool.
That was $5, number 49. I've got the Wade Black Velvet Bowl. That was $7, number 76. The ink blotters. This was a collection. I actually, for an individual Fire Association of Philadelphia that was founded in 1817. This is probably from the 30s or 40s. You can get one of these for $5. It's $5 for number 12. And I had some whiskey certificates left. So the whiskey certificate was $25. These are Prohibition era whiskey certificates. So they prescribed whiskey prescription form for medicinal liquor. So whiskey, this one happens to be dated 1931. They were all from 1930 or 1931. They are $25. That was number 61. So that is what was left from the evening. So thanks everyone again for joining in. If you bought anything, wanted to add any of that stuff in, just drop me a note later or drop it into the chat. Otherwise, I will thank everybody and have this sign off as one of the shortest sales I've ever had.
It is. That's a record.
And then I'm hoping, because so many of the mini mystery boxes were sold, because they include the packing, I'll be able to get those invoices out a lot easier, because I don't have to weigh them. I just have to invoice the $15 and then take care of them. So those will all be going out. So thanks everyone for joining in. I apologize for those who came in a little bit later. Who knows if these are going to continue to be this short, or if they will get longer, or at what point I'm going to return to my regular time slot. But for now, I will be back next week at 11 p.m. What do you have coming up on your channel, Katie?
I'm really looking forward to Sunday as part of one of the Triptych members. I will be hosting this week's Triptych, and I've got a really amazing little thing that we're doing. It's different than all of the other Triptychs we've done, but I think it's going to be really fascinating. For all of you guys that don't know, my mom is a news anchor here in town, and she was able to fly to the beaches of Normandy for the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and she did an entire 30-minute documentary on the history of D-Day and interviewed some amazing folks that were actually on the beaches during D-Day. And she won an Emmy for that special. So I'm going to be sharing that with all of you this coming Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is going to be really, really exciting. I'm looking forward to sharing that. It will be a great thing to watch and to be able to be together in the chat. And then on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, Patrick and I will be hosting the Duo Dive on my channel. And we have the guy coming on from the TV show Bathtubs Over Broadway, which is on Netflix. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. That is going to be excellent.
That is. I'm really looking forward to that one as well. So I will be part of the Triptych on Sunday and part of the Duo Dive on Wednesday, but they will both be hosted by Katie this time. So at this point, I don't know what's going to be on my channel next week. I'll try and drop something, just if something go up. But for the most part, I don't have anything particularly new planned. And I got to kind of figure that out. So 2022 is going to be my year to maybe make some changes and figure some things out with my YouTube. But COVID's not helping matters. Theater is being messed up. So like, it's just trying to figure out where to prioritize my time and still focus on my full-time job. So, you know, all those fun things. But I do appreciate when you spend time with us. I know Katie appreciates when you spend time on her channel. If you do not subscribe to Katie, you can follow her on both Instagram and YouTube under Vintage and Vinyl. And of course, follow Nate, who is the third part of the triptych, on both Instagram and the trip on YouTube under Soul Nate. And make sure you sign up for notifications so that when we do post things, you will know what we are doing. So thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of the week and have a great weekend. Thanks for your time, everybody. Talk to you again. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Bye-bye.
Bye, friends.